Bonjour à la classe. Today we're learning about le subjonctif passé, or the past subjunctive. We have already learned le subjonctif au présent, and actually le subjonctif au présent is also used for the subjonctif au futur. So whether you're talking about an action that's happening now or an action that will happen, you're going to use the subjonctif that we've already learned. Really quickly, let's review that there are three requirements to use the subjonctif. These three requirements will also apply to le subjonctif passé. So in order to use the subjunctive in a phrase, you are going to have two parts of a sentence, and those two clauses in the sentence must have two different subjects. The subjunctive would appear in the dependent clause, which is the second half of a sentence, and that second half, or that first half of the sentence, must have a phrase that triggers a part of weirdo. Remember, we have want, emotion, impersonal expressions, requirement, regret, recommendations, doubt, and opinion. And those are the parts of weirdo. We've learned a lot of those phrases already, and those phrases will actually apply to the subjonctif passé as well. In terms of choosing whether you want the futur or the présent of the subjunctive, it depends on the context. They're conjugated the same way. So the conjugations that we've already learned are for the présent and the futur of the subjunctive. If you don't remember what this is all about, go to my website and check out the subjunctive notes. Now we're going to talk about la conjugaison du subjonctif passé. So it has the same three requirements as the subjonctif au présent and au futur. And it's made up of two parts. Okay, in order to get the conjugation of the subjonctif passé, you have the conjugation of your auxiliaire on the subjonctif, and you have your participe passé of whatever the action verb is. Here's an example. Mon prof est content que nous ayons fait les devoirs. My teacher is happy that we did the homework. You'll see right here, we've got mon prof est content que. Okay, that's our phrase that tells us we're going to use a subjunctif. We have two different subjects, mon prof and nous. And then the second half, the second clause in the sentence is nous ayons fait les devoirs, and that's in the second half of the sentence. You'll see for the subjonctif passé conjugation, we have the conjugation of the auxiliaire. Remember, we can have two different auxiliaires. One would be avoir, and the other would be être. The reason why we used avoir here is because faire is not a Van der Tramp verb. Van der Tramp verbs are the only verbs that will use être as the auxiliaire in any of our tenses. And you'll see my teacher is happy that we did the homework. We did the homework, that's in the past because we're using